Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time I am building a family home here in the brand new world of Copperdale, which is of course the world that we got in the high school years expansion pack. So for this home, I pretty much just wanted to create something that was for a very busy family. I think that both of the parents in this house work. They're both very successful in their careers, and they just spend a lot of time with deadlines and work requirements and then activities for their 5 children. And so things are just kind of hectic and busy around this household. And I thought this was a really fun idea. And I also wanted this family to be quite wealthy. So the house is very big, very spacious. It has lots of activities. And I also wanted to feel a little bit more on the fancy side. It's not supposed to feel like super fancy, but I wanted to have it have a little bit more of a fancier feel than some of my other family homes, but it still has that like cozy family environment. So you guys will have to let me know how I did on that. And of course, I hope you guys do enjoy this build. But before we get too far into the video, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Factor. Factor offers fresh, ready-made meals delivered right to your doorstep. These delicious meals are chef-created, never frozen, and designed by dietitians to ensure that every meal is full of premium, nutritious ingredients. Between you two, being a mom to an almost 20-month-old now, and spending time with my husband, meals can often be like pushed to the side, and I often find myself going for fast options. Thankfully, Factor helps me on those extra busy days and gives me extra time to spend with my family. With Factor, I get the convenience of fast food without compromising the quality and nutrition of my meals. Factor meals come pre-prepared and ready to eat within 2 minutes or less. It's honestly faster than ordering takeout. There are a variety of meal plans with rotating weekly menus of over 27 meal options and over 33 add-ons like smoothies, keto shakes, and more. Factor fits any lifestyle, from offering calorie-smart meals, keto, vegan, and vegetarian options, which are great for me. When you sign up, choose the meal plan that works for you. You can receive between 4 to 18 meals a week. You just add or reduce the number to fit your specific needs. You can also modify your food preferences or skip a week if needed. So use my link or go to go.factor75.com and use code POGSIM130 for $130 off 6 boxes. Thank you again, Factor, for sponsoring today's video. So as I was building this, I was really trying to picture the family. Like I said, they're very like a busy family. The parents especially are very busy with like their work and their careers and just all of their deadlines that they have to meet. But I'm not sure exactly what they do for careers specifically. Like, are they a lawyer? Are they an engineer? A doctor? I just feel like they have some sort of career like that. I think the principal actually lives on this lot by default if you guys play with this expansion pack, but I imagine if you play with the principal, she's no longer the principal anymore, because I don't think that works as like an active career. Although that would be pretty cool to go to the high school and actually play as the principal. I think I would actually enjoy that gameplay. But I just assume, let me know if it works this way, but I assume that if you play with the principal, then she has no career. You have to like find her a new career, and then a new default sim is just put in her place as the principal in the high school when you go to the high school. I assume that's how it works. Let me know, because I don't think she can actually keep her principal position any longer, but maybe she can. I'm not exactly sure. I have not played with this expansion pack other than building, so you guys have to let me know. And then for the children, like I was saying, there are 5 kids in the house total, 2 teens, 2 children sims, and a toddler. And the toddler room is like the most basic toddler room I have ever created. I don't even know if I like it. I'm kind of embarrassed by it. I mean, I like it. I think it looks cute, but it's kind of depressing as a toddler room because I went for a white color scheme and I've never done that before. And it looks kind of interesting, like I think interior design wise, I think it's kind of interesting to do something that's that white. But for a toddler space, I think it's kind of depressing. You guys will have to let me know. It's like the last room that I decorate in the house. And I was just trying to do something different, taking a chance basically. And yeah, I was inspired by this one decoration that I use in there. So I'll talk about it when we get to that room, and you guys will have to let me know what you think. But it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to do it again, honestly, just because it just feels so depressing. But I left it in here so you guys can see what I did, and hopefully you'll at least appreciate trying to do something different, I guess, because I've just made so many pink, blue, green, or yellow toddler rooms, and I guess I've made purple too. And I think I've even done orange. I don't know, I've just like exhausted all of the colors, and I feel like sometimes it might get a little bit repetitive, especially in like not using custom content, because with custom content there's a lot more variety, and with The Sims 4, when it comes to children items, there's not a lot, especially for like toddler rooms and nurseries. I really hope that we at least get a kit at some point that is toddler themed. I think that would be so cute to get a nursery kit with like a new bassinet, like a more realistic looking bassinet. Although toddlers don't sleep in them, they sleep in toddler beds, but a new bassinet for actual babies would be really nice. And then just like artwork and different stuffed animals and stuff that would be cute to put in a nursery or a toddler room would be great. So yeah, anyways, so for the children in this house, I was thinking that they are twins, and they're both very much into like the sciences, very into like math, engineering, science, and just sort of like, I don't know, just all of those science related subjects. One more than the other. I think the one is a lot more focused on like studying like chemistry, and they're kind of like the little brainiac of the house, and they're very much into like science in general, and like joining the science fair at school and doing different science projects and stuff. And then their twin is much like really into maybe more of like the computer sciences, but they're very much into gaming, and they have a very fancy computer that I imagined they like requested basically from their parents, because you know, I feel like these kids have a little bit more expensive taste when it comes to like buying or requesting Christmas gifts and stuff, but the parents are very responsible parents, and they don't want to just go out and buy their kids every expensive thing that they, you know, wish. So the kid was like, I really want this, and so they're like, okay, you can, you know, take on some like lawn mowing jobs or do like a paper delivery or something. And so they saw their child like working really hard to save up for this very expensive computer, and then I imagine the kid could only get so far with, you know, whatever income they were making from doing those sorts of jobs. And so the parents kind of just like gave them the rest of the money and got them the computer that they want. And so they even do some like streaming and gaming online. They have a little bit of a following, not a huge following because they're still like a child, and the parents probably monitor their activity online quite a bit, but they still have a little bit of a following. And so maybe when they become a little bit older, maybe a teen into a young adult, they'll actually make a career out of it or something. So I thought that was kind of fun. And I think it's kind of interesting because since I play video games for a career, I play The Sims, and I have this channel, I don't do that many actual like Sims that are into video gaming. I've done like some like kids room, like general like gamers, but not any that do it for a career. I think I've done like 1 or 2 apartments before. I really should do more. If you guys have any ideas for that, definitely let me know. And then for the teenagers, so I think there's 2 teenagers in this house, and I was thinking that they're like complete opposites to one another. And so one of them I imagine is very feminine, very focused on like fashion and appearances and being popular and being liked and basically having like a social status at school. And so they have like a reputation to uphold, and they're very concerned about what people think about them. And I was kind of getting like Mean Girls inspiration. I mean, not any one of them specifically, but I think they're just not that nice. Like they'll give somebody a compliment with not actually meaning it, and I don't understand that. I feel like that's so mean. But if you guys have seen Mean Girls, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. So I was just kind of thinking that sort of character. And then for their sibling, the other teen, I think that teen is a lot more like down to earth, a lot more into like nature and photography and like traveling. And I've done a few teens like this already, but I think that's just because this is how I was as a teen. I really wanted to travel. I was a lot more like a little bit more of like a hippie-ish sort of teen, and yeah, I don't know, I wanted to go like backpacking around Europe. So whenever I create these sort of teen rooms, I imagine they want to go backpacking around like Windenburg or go live on the beach in Sulani or something like that. And so I really like that idea. I definitely did not do any of that when I graduated high school. I moved in with some roommates, had a job, went to college for a little bit, but actually didn't start going to college till I was 22. So there was like a few years where I just kind of did random things, and I definitely did not have enough money to go traveling around Europe. And I don't even think I was like mature enough to like organize something like that. I don't think I could have ever put it together. I've been to Europe since though, and I just absolutely love it. I wish I could go there all of the time. It's yeah, amazing. But anyway, so yeah, I really like that idea for a teen, and I was just thinking that they're just a little bit more earthy and sort of don't really care about appearances and what people think about them as much as their sibling does, because I mean that's pretty much all their sibling cares about. So they're just very different in that way. So I thought that was kind of fun, and I really liked having all of the different personalities represented in one family. And yeah, you guys will have to let me know what you guys think about the parents. I don't know, I feel like parents is like, it's just so dependent on the families that you guys already have, and then maybe they just haven't had kids yet, so then you could use like my story ideas for your future children of the household, or you could create a family to live in this house. You guys will have to let me know what you guys do or what's your approach when downloading builds from the gallery. But anyways, here you can see I have put the entire house together. I talked through the entire thing, but I absolutely love the shape of it. I was definitely going for that like big American sort of, I guess, like craftsman style house, I think you would call it. And I just really enjoyed it because I don't do many homes that are specifically like craftsman looking. And I just tried using lots of stuff from like Cats and Dogs and Seasons to give it that look. And then here I'm working on the landscaping. For the landscaping, I've been really into using bushes recently, which I think it's kind of a silly thing to be into, but I feel like I just haven't utilized bushes enough in the game, and I feel like it makes the landscaping look so much more realistic. I also incorporated some flowers, but it's mostly just bushes and greenery. And forgive me if you guys can't really like see into the shadows so well. It is kind of difficult actually to build in this world because the shadows are so heavy, and I've even watched some other people's speed builds, and I'm like squinting to look on screen like, what are they doing? I can't really see because the shadows are so strong. And I don't know, I'm kind of torn. What do you guys think about the shadows in this world? Because part of me kind of likes it because it feels a little bit more like moody and mysterious, and it kind of just adds a different atmosphere to the world. But then for speed builds, it's just kind of really dark and hard to record here and hard to watch speed builds. So you guys will have to let me know what you guys think about it, and if you guys have the same thoughts as me or differing thoughts. But yeah, I don't know, I just don't know how often I'm gonna build in this world because of that. But I want to build more here because I do like the style of it, but the shadows are just so strong. So I'm hoping that maybe they adjust like the lighting path in the world, because I think that's what it's doing. It is like during midday the shadows are so strong because the sun is like directly overhead in game, and so maybe that's it. And then part of it has to do with like the lighting in the world. I don't know, I have no idea about developing games or creating lightings for worlds, so I really have nothing I can really say about that, but I just wonder. So anyways, here in the backyard there's a swing set, there's a sandbox, which I thought was so fun, and I added a couple of activities in there like a dollhouse and the building block table. There's also an outdoor dining table, a barbecuer, there's a swimming pool. The swimming pool isn't very big, but I feel like to have a swimming pool in this world that probably doesn't get very warm, like I feel like this would be more of like a cooler climate world because of like all the evergreen trees and stuff. I think you would probably need like a heated pool, so that'd be kind of expensive and pretty luxurious, I think, to have a swimming pool in this world. So I thought that was pretty nice. And then I also put the like it's kind of like a gazebo, the glass structure. It's not technically a greenhouse because there's no walls to it, but I put some like planter boxes and stuff in there. And then I also used a horseshoe pit on the left side of the build, and I thought that was pretty fun because I cannot remember the last time I have used that object. I think it must have been like the last time I built in Granite Falls. I think so. I don't know. I saw it in the catalog and I thought I would just place it, and I kind of just had to squeeze it over there because I really didn't have room to place it. But I think it actually works over there pretty nicely, and it just adds another activity. And yeah, that was just something I really wanted for this build, was just to have a lot of activities and things for your Sims to do, because it's such a big build and I really just wanted it to feel a bit extra. And so I think that kind of adds to it. And I really like this little garden area over here. I think it's pretty cute. And of course, if you wanted it to be an actual greenhouse so you could grow the plants all year, you could just close it in and make it look like a greenhouse with a glass roof and like modern windows all the way around. But I liked the actual like open look to it. I thought that was pretty fun and a little bit different than some of the greenhouses I've created in a while. And then here I'm just copying over the same plants that I used in the backyard to the front yard, so the same flowers. I have been completely obsessed ever since Cottage Living came out with using those flowers. Like the roses and these yellowish orange flowers that came in that expansion pack are just so pretty, and I like the texture of them, and I feel like they just work for like any build. You guys will have to let me know if you agree, but I just like cannot stop using them in like every single build that I do. And then over here, I'm just adding like a few decorations, like the garden hose and a couple of these live edit objects planter boxes, just to add some more like detail and make it feel a little bit more fully decorated. And I kind of just shuffle things around trying to figure out how I want them placed. I felt like having too many of those plants was looking a little bit messy and crowded and kind of taking away from the look I wanted this build to have. But I think having one of them worked, and then a little chair and stuff like that. And then here I'm just continuing with the bushes and the flowers. And I also really liked how I used this low-lying picket fence around the front of the house. I thought that looked so cute and just so like suburbia looking. And something else about this world that I noticed, there's only 2 lots that have like an actual driveway leading to it. There's this one, and then there's the one that's like the very small lot in the same area of the world. And then the rest of them are surrounded by like greenery, except for the areas on the docks. Or it's not a dock, it's like a wooden platform in the town center area. So I guess it's not technically a dock, but I want to call it a dock because of like the wooden platform. But that area is actually pretty cool too. I do like it. So I need to build in the other neighborhood because I have not built over there yet. And that's pretty much because of just the dirt lots. I really like when there's a place to make a driveway just so I can make it look more like suburban. But I guess I build a lot of those, so I should probably try to do something different. Anyways, here I'm moving on to the interior of the house. The floor plan of this house actually came together pretty nicely. I actually really like the floor plan. I thought some of it was going to be a little bit awkward, but once I added all of the decorations, I think it actually works. Even like the kitchen area, I felt like the shape of it's pretty strange. You guys will have to let me know what you guys think about it, but I think I made it work, and I feel like it's just nice and cozy, and there's like a breakfast table in there, so I really do like that. But the house ends up having like all of the areas you could imagine. There's the living area, of course, the dining room, the kitchen. The kitchen has a little breakfast nook. There's also a laundry room, and I think that's also the downstairs bathroom. No, there's another bathroom in the hallway. I almost forgot about that one. And then there's an office space, or it's kind of like a bonus room. It's like an office sort of like playroom. And I made it open to the hallway. I was going to have it closed off, but it's more of just like an open family area. And then the parents' bedroom is downstairs with like a full ensuite bathroom and a big bedroom. And then all the children's bedrooms are upstairs with their bathroom up there too. Here I'm decorating the living room, and something that I've been doing recently is using the little pillow that came from the little campers kit and rotating it using the tool mod and putting it up on these couches specifically. I should probably try them on other couches, but this looks so cute, and these are like the most realistic looking couches that we have in game, and really like the most comfortable. I mean, a few of the other couches look comfortable, like the ones that came from like Cats and Dogs and Parenthood, and even the ones that came from this expansion pack, but these ones just look the most like a regular couch, and I wish that we would get more swatches because the base game couch, I think we've had this couch since launch, but you have to unlock it through a career. I'm not exactly sure which career it is, so if you don't play with any cheats, then your Sims have to unlock it that way. And then there's only 3 swatches. There's this one, which is a nice neutral beige color that you can use in like almost any interior. And then there's an orangey one, and then a green one, which I really like the green one, but it's a little bit harder to use in like every single interior. So yeah, it would be nice if we got some more variety and some more textures too. If we got some like more like linen-y looking textures on them, I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know, I just really would like to see more out of this couch because I think it's the best couch that we have in game, even though it doesn't have cushions. But now that we have the little campers pillows, we can add these. But then again, there's like no neutral swatches on them. They either have these ones with like the leaf design, or there's one with stars, and then there's one with like Bigfoot and little mountains and stuff, which they're all super cute. And then there's some space ones too, but they're definitely a lot harder to use the more prints and stuff that are on them in different interiors. But I think this green one actually worked really nice in here, and it kind of spurred on the whole color scheme for the entire build. I tried using some of this green color, but it's mostly other shades of green and like more like turquoisey colors, and other than that it's more like grays and neutral colors like creams and browns and some blacks. I don't know, I was kind of all over the place, I feel like, with the color scheme of this build, but I think somehow it all comes together and feels cohesive in the end. I don't know, at least that's how I felt when I was done decorating it. I felt like it somehow all worked together. And so you guys will have to let me know if you agree, but that's it for the living room. I feel like that room is just so nice and cozy. And then here is the entryway. The entryway to the build is it's pretty big. Like, it's a pretty grand entryway, and it has the staircase, of course, leading up to the bedrooms. But in here I just put like entryway clutter, like a coat rack, shoe rack, a mirror, some like clutter like the backpack and stuff like that. I also put the parenthood board in here too. I definitely think that the parents try to set curfews and stay on top of what their kids are doing, but they do work a lot. They're very busy, and they don't really have time to make sure their kids are home at like every single hour they're supposed to be, or at every single event that they're supposed to be. So I think that they probably have like a nanny or somebody that comes in and helps them achieve that. They definitely need some assistance because they're busy basically. But yeah, over here is going to be the dining room. I really wanted to use these chairs that came from Seasons when I was thinking of the way I wanted to decorate this house. These are the first chairs I thought of, and so I just placed them right away, and I think they look so good in here, and I just have not used them, I feel like, in so long. And they're such a beautiful chair. They're like, I don't know, such a pretty design, and I really like the seat of them, how they're more of that like wicker material. I think that's super cute. And then over here I am decorating this hutch, and I'm forgetting the name of the game pack that it came with. It's gonna drive me crazy, but I'm sure you guys know which one, the one that Salvador came with. But anyways, I just think that looks really nice, and it was a great spot to add some clutter. And then I just added a few other decorations around. And then over here is going to be the kitchen, and I'm using the counters and cabinets from that same game pack. And I really like them in here. I liked the more like, I don't know what kind of brown you would call this. It kind of has like a hint of gray to it. It's like a grayish brown color, but it's really nice, and I felt like it looked really good in this build, and it matched some of the other browns that I was using, but didn't make it feel too brown because it's not like the exact same brown. And then here I'm just picking out a stove and refrigerator. The stove came from Dream Home Decorator, and so I used the counter version and the stovetop version, and I've noticed a couple of times when overlapping them like that, because technically I don't think you're supposed to be able to place both of them in the same counter, because I think if you don't have move objects on, the game won't let you place them in the same one. And I've noticed sometimes that the counter itself will show up in the like where the door is to the stove, but I think it still functions. And so you guys have to let me know, because I've done it quite a few times, and so hopefully it still functions. Hopefully you guys don't have to change anything to make it work. But yeah, I really wanted there to be a breakfast table since there was a space to do it. And so over here I created sort of like a little bench seating area at the base of the window, and I used some more of these pillows, again rotating them using the tool mod. And if you guys are ever interested in downloading the tool mod, and I can highly recommend it, I always have it linked in the description box. The link takes you right to Twisted Mexie's website, who is the creator of the mod, and then you can download it there. And then they also have tons of other mods. I use the Better Build and Buy one, but they have so many other ones that I haven't even began to dabble in, so there's a lot there, and I can just highly recommend these ones because they're great, and they've really made building like so much better for me. So I can't sing their praises enough. But anyways, here I just was trying to make it feel or look comfy, and rotating the pillows and just trying to make them look a little bit more like naturally placed and not so perfectly placed, and just a little bit more comfy. I really wanted this to feel like a place that the family uses like a lot more often. Like I can imagine the kids sitting here and working on homework, or you know, finishing up projects and stuff. So I just put a little bit more clutter here, just trying to show that they use this area a little bit more just for like regular everyday like schoolwork and different sort of things that the kids might be doing. And then over here along this wall, you guys might notice that there's a room on the other side of it, and there's no door leading into it. And so here, after I'm done decorating the area, I realize it, and I decide to place a door. And so I just kind of have to shuffle things around just slightly and just move things over just a little bit to make room for the door. And I did play test it to make sure that the sim could actually get through the door and get into that area, which is going to be the laundry room and like a half bath. So there's a bathroom over here. There's also one behind the living room in that hallway. So there's two like family bathrooms basically downstairs, but this one is also a laundry room. And so yeah, here I'm just picking out different decorations to put on this side table, and I really like this side table and the shelf above it. They look so cute, and I really like how the shelf has like those hanging glasses from them. I feel like that's such a nice detail. And then over here next to this door, I'm just hanging up a couple of cooking robes and then a broom, just to sort of add some like regular decorations that you'd probably have in a kitchen, and then just putting some essential items around, like a coffee pot and a microwave and a trash can. And recently I did a renovation of a base game build in Willow Creek, and this range hood was used in that build, the original one, and I kept it in my renovation. And so I decided to leave it in this build because I loved it so much in that one. And I was thinking that I don't really use that like particular one enough. And it just works so nicely in this kitchen. So that's what I ended up doing in here. And yeah, that's it for the entire kitchen area, except for here where I realized there's no door into the laundry room. So I just highlight everything using the tool mod, and I use the gravity pull feature just to quickly pull all of the decorations over instead of, you know, moving everything individually. I think would have just been a little bit time consuming. Of course, not too difficult, but just a little bit of a pain. But thankfully I was able to add the door very easily. And also the curtains that I'm using throughout the build, I used some that came from my wedding stories, like in the dining room, but these sheer ones that are like a little bit lacy looking or macrame looking, like it looks like it has some sort of like a macrame detail at the top. I don't think it's technically supposed to be macrame material. It looks a little bit sheer, but I really like these curtains, and I felt like they looked so cute in here. And I absolutely loved using them. Like I've been using the curtains that came in this pack a lot more than I thought I would, because I thought some of them would be too like style specific and I would just not get as much use out of them in such a variety of interiors, but I've been using them all the time. I just really like them, especially these ones I think are super cute. But yeah, over here it's going to be the full downstairs bathroom. So in here there's a shower tub combo, a sink, a toilet, and it's just a really big bathroom. There's really like a lot of space in here if you wanted, I don't know, something else in here. I really don't know what else you could add in a bathroom, but I mean, there's the room for it. But I really like it. I really liked having that bench seat underneath the window, even though I have no idea why you would have that in there. I guess if you needed to talk to somebody while they were in the shower, you could sit there and talk to them for a while. And so I feel like that's kind of realistic for like a family home if you need to talk to somebody that's in the shower, because there's been plenty of times where like my husband's been showering and I go sit on the toilet or something and talk to him for a while. It's definitely happened numerous times throughout our like 12 years now, 12 years of a relationship. And so yeah, I don't know, I kind of like adding those extra details in family homes. And then over here I was going to have this be a smaller closed-in office space, but I just really did not like that once I started decorating it and thinking about how I wanted this room to look. And so it's just a nice open space, just a place for the parents to use the computer, the kids to use the computer, basically just to hang out. There's a fish tank in here, there's a place to read. I also put a dartboard in here, an art easel, basically just an area for skill building. And so you could easily customize the space depending on your Sims careers or activities or things that they're into. Oh yeah, I also put a yoga mat in here, which I thought was pretty nice. I really wish that we had a rolled up version of the yoga mat though, that we could just place as like clutter leaning against a wall or something like that. I really wish that the what was that stuff pack called? It was the fitness stuff. It sounds like it would come with like extra fitness stuff, like clutter basically, but it just came with like remeshes of objects that we already have, and then the rock wall, which the rock wall I guess is pretty cool if you're building like gyms and stuff. I don't know how often people have used it in actual family homes, but I really wish that that pack would have came with just regular like sports clutter, like dumbbell weights and a gym bag and like tennis shoes and a rolled up yoga mat and just things like that would have been so cool. So I don't know, I feel like it's a missed opportunity. Hopefully, maybe with another pack, we'll get something like that. But yeah, over here is going to be the parents' bedroom. So for the parents' bedroom, I'm using lots of stuff that came from the expansion pack. So the side tables, the bed, the curtains, the dresser, basically so many different items from this pack, but they work so nicely together. They're all like really matching in color, and they just feel like a complete set. And I feel like the family that lives here would definitely go into one of those home furniture stores and just buy a complete set just to make it nice and easy, because then they don't have to think about it and they don't have to spend like time out of their precious busy lifestyles basically to pick out furniture, because I really don't think the family's too concerned about interior design or making sure that things look maybe designer or I don't know, something like that. I just don't think they really care, even though I think the house looks nice. I tried my best to decorate it. I just don't think that they're too worried about it, you know, them specifically. So yeah, over here I'm just adding a few laundry hampers in the laundry room. You could definitely move that sink and toilet because they're not totally necessary, since there's already another full bathroom in the hallway, and then of course this bathroom over here. So there's really plenty of bathrooms I think in this build. So if you needed more space for like a couple of extra laundry hampers, you could easily fit them in there. Or if you have like a cat, I would definitely put a litter box in there. I think that would be a great spot to put it in. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of different options with that one particular room. And then over here is going to be the parents' ensuite bathroom. So in here, there's a shower tub combo, a toilet, a sink, all of those necessary bathroom items. And pretty much I'm just trying to decorate it like the rest of the build and trying to make it feel fully decorated and cozy and yeah, like a nice bathroom. I actually added quite a bit of plants in this build. I'm realizing I don't really imagine, or didn't as I was building it, that the family was too concerned about plants or really into them, but I guess they are. But I think that's just, I'm really into plants. So I think that's just something that happens across all of my builds. But anyways, here I've moved on to the second floor. So this is where all the kids' bedrooms are, the toddler room, the teens' rooms, and the children's room. There's also this large bathroom, which is shared amongst all of the kids. And so in here, it's just a little bit of a larger bathroom, but it has all of the same items as the downstairs bathrooms. I use like the same decorations over and over just to make them all feel cohesive and like they all belong in the same house. And I feel like that feels really nice. I really like that. And I also go through and add like a couple of toddler potties in this bathroom and the downstairs bathroom in the hallway. And then I also add a high chair. And I didn't realize it when I was decorating, but I did place 2 high chairs. So there's one in the dining room and one at the breakfast table. And I didn't do this intentionally. I think I thought that I didn't place the one in the dining room or something like that. But yeah, when I was taking the screenshots, I realized that there's 2 of them, but I think that's actually kind of nice. So depending on where the Sims are eating, you don't have to move the high chair if you do like to play with the high chairs. So yeah, I don't know. Here I did skip over some of the process of picking out the beds and like the wallpapers and which room was going to be which kid's room. I spent so long going through wallpaper colors and beds, and it was just getting ridiculous. And so I just cut it out because it really was not that important to see or even that interesting. I thought when I was editing the video, I just didn't think it was that useful. So I just cut it out. And yeah, this is going to be the first room that I'm decorating for the kids. It's for the child Sims, and they share a room. And like I was saying, I was thinking that they are twins, and they're just very similar twins. They're both really into like the STEM subjects, like all of the sciences and maths, especially the one on the lower bunk. I think they're very much into like space and chemistry. I end up putting the science table in here so they could mess with that, and they're just basically into all of that kind of stuff. And so I put posters around and things that I thought related to that interest. The one on the upper bunk is also into the sciences too, but a little bit more like video games and computer science and those sorts of subjects. And yeah, I basically just tried to make the room feel fun and fully decorated. I gave them a desk over here, and I decided to use this table, which is technically an outdoor table, but I really liked the blue tablecloth over it, and I just imagined it was like an old sheet or something that they put over it, just because, you know, they're kids and they thought it looked cool like this basically. And so I thought that was kind of fun. And then other than that, I just add different clutter items and decorations up on top of it that I thought suited their interests and personalities. I also gave the one kid a gaming computer with 2 monitors that also has a camera at the top so they could do some like streaming or something like that. And yeah, I just love the whole story that I had behind that. I don't know, let me know if you guys like that story too, but I thought it was pretty fun. And then over here I do give them a video game console and then this penguin TV. I've been obsessed with this penguin TV recently about like putting it in kids' rooms. I think it's just so cute and I just haven't used it enough. So I thought it was pretty fun in here and looked really good. I also used a couple of these chairs that came with the high school years expansion pack, and then I take the pillow, the same one that I used down in the living room that's from the Little Campers kit, and I rotate it and put it up on those chairs, and I felt like that just made it feel so much more lived in. And of course there's some space related swatches, so it worked perfect for this like whole theme of the bedroom. And then other than that, there's a walk-in closet in here, there's a dresser, a bookcase. I also placed that science table like I was saying, and I just put a bunch of different clutter pieces around, and I just really had fun with this room. I just always absolutely love to decorate kids' rooms because of just all of the decorations and clutter and personality that you can place in a kid's room. I think they're so fun. And there I just placed a couple of rugs, and then here I'm grabbing those pillows like I mentioned, and then just rotating them, of course using the tool mod, raising them up slightly, and then just moving them over with the gravity pull feature to get them placed exactly where I wanted to. And they just look so cute and comfy on here, and I just think that it brings so much to a space just having throw pillows. I really hope the Sims team is considering adding more pillow decorations, even if they're just floor decorations like these ones are, because then you could always rotate them if you're a console player like I am using the tool mod. But hopefully we actually get pillows that you could just place on a couch, even if they just like make snapping points on couches and have them be like an object like that. But I would much prefer them just to be regular objects that you could just, you know, use the move objects tool and like the 0 and 9 key to raise them up or something like that, to place them wherever you would like. But anyways, over here is going to be one of the teens' rooms. So as you might have guessed so far, this is the much girlier teen. This is a sim that's very much into fashion and being popular and being, I guess, just a fashion icon at the school and having everybody worship them and like them. And they're just not really that nice because of how self-centered they are and how so concerned they are about appearances and stuff. I think maybe once this sim gets a little bit older, they'll maybe, I don't know, become a little bit more down to earth, maybe be a little bit more conscious about their behavior and stuff like that. But right now, in their more younger age, they're not so worried about that, and they're all a little bit more like selfish, I guess, and self-centered. But they're very much into makeup and stuff like that. And we got some great objects that came with high school years for makeup clutter, and we got some new clothing clutter and stuff like that. So I just basically tried to use a lot of that. And then over here I did create a little bench seat, and I used these pillows again. And then I also used some clutter that came with the expansion pack that has like an open magazine and some like papers and books and pencils. I think there's also a baseball, which works for, I think, certain interiors, but I think for this room specifically, I do not think this sim cares about sports whatsoever. Maybe cheerleading, maybe dance and those sort of activities. And maybe they care about sports, about like maybe who's playing them or something like that. Maybe they have like a crush or something. So maybe they care about sports as like a status sort of thing, but not actual like any of the mechanics of the games. I don't know. I didn't really think too deeply about that, but is something I thought about. But over here I did place another dresser because this sim is very into clothes. They do have a lot of it, so they need another dresser space to fit all of their clothes because they have so many of them. And then I also used this desk that came from this expansion pack, and I really like that desk and this one because it has so many little like stickers and like I think it has like a little bulletin board at the back and just different little things that add so much personality and just extra detail in a room. But yeah, over here is going to be the other teen's room. So this teen is a lot more into like photography and traveling, and they're just a lot more of like a hippie teen, and they're just a little bit more like down to earth and like hanging out with their friends and just probably even doing things alone. I don't think they're technically a loner necessarily, but they don't mind being by themselves. They're a lot more just grounded and a bit more mature than their sibling. So I think that's kind of nice to have such like polar opposites, and it would be really fun for gameplay pretty much just to play with somebody so different than the other. And I think in this house there's just a lot of variety, so I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, I think this teen really likes the color blue and orange. I basically was just inspired by this bed swatch because the bed is so pretty and like vibrant, and so I tried to find other objects that matched it, but I didn't want it to feel too matchy because I still wanted it to feel like a teen's room and not overly like put together. I just wanted it to feel a little bit more like a regular teen's room, so I think it kind of gave it that appearance with still showing maybe that this teen has like a favorite color or something. But yeah, over here I did add some of these photographs that your sims can take if you have the Island Living expansion pack, and so I thought that this sim definitely enjoys photography, and they've been to Sulani maybe a couple of times for like a summer vacation or something like that, and they've taken these pictures themselves, and they dream of like moving there and like living in like a cool beach house and being like an underwater photographer or something like that. I think that's kind of like a nice dream that this teen could have, and hopefully they achieve their goals and their dreams. I think that would be pretty cool, but sometimes, you know, things happen and life takes you a different direction, which is totally possible too. So I think there's a lot of different options if you guys decide to play with this particular family that I had in mind. But yeah, over here I was just trying to show some more personality by adding some clutter and different decorations up on top of the dresser. I also added tons of posters around, and there's so many great objects that came with the high school years pack for like adding these types of posters. Like a lot of them look like this particular like style of teen room. I feel like there wasn't as many for like super girly teens. I've actually kind of struggled with that particular style. There's also like not a lot of sports stuff. There's a couple of sports swatches, but not really like that many. It's all very just sort of, I mean, not all of it, but there's just a lot of like tapestries and like kind of more boho looking stuff, which I guess is pretty popular right now. It's definitely a style that I am definitely into and have been into since I was a teen. But I don't know, now that I've been decorating more teen rooms, I feel like there could have been a little bit more variety. Let me know if you guys agree. But anyways, over here is going to be the toddler room. And so like I said, it's the most depressing toddler room I have ever created. It's just so white. But I placed this bed, and then I placed this object that came from, I'm not exactly sure which pack it came from, but we got it fairly recently. I think it maybe even came in an update. No, I feel like it didn't. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Let me know which pack this tent came from, but I sized it down and it came in this black and white swatch. And so I just decided to go with it and create a black and white toddler room. It's mostly white though, and I think it's interesting. It was fun to decorate this way, but for a toddler space, I just feel like they need to be so much more colorful, and at least, I don't know, even another neutral room that was maybe a bit more brown would be more interesting, but just all the white just kind of felt depressing. Let me know if you guys agree, but it was fun to do something different and kind of refreshing, but I just don't really think I'll create another one. But there is some really good objects that I think you can use in a toddler's room that come in a white swatch. So it was pretty fun to kind of go through and find all of the different objects that worked for this particular color scheme, like that stuffed animal in the corner and the toy box and stuff, that all worked, and this bookshelf of course worked. And so, yeah, I don't know. You guys have to let me know what you think about it. But here I'm just adding the final few decorations to the room and adding the last few details. And again, thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring today's video. And don't forget to click the link or go to go.factor75.com and use code POGSIM130 to save $130 across 6 boxes. And yeah, here I'm just finishing up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this build. I hope you guys enjoyed the screenshots. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!